Hello, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Ayn and today I am going to do a book Q&A tag. I think I said it in the wrong order. I was tagged by the lovely Eleanor, whose channel I'm going to link over here and down in the description below. She's absolutely amazing. She does lots and lots of brilliant videos on publishing and has got really great book reviews as well. So go check her out and give her a subscribe if you're not already subscribed. But thank you so much, Eleanor, for tagging me. This is such a fun video to film, so let's get into it. I am going to be referencing my phone because I can't remember the questions at the top of my head. Here we go. Okay, the first question is, how many books are too many for a series? I mean, I love series. I don't read a huge amount of series, but just because I've got so many other things that I need to read for work and otherwise. But when I think, for example, about Harry Potter or any series like fantasy mostly, I just wish they would never end. I have never really had a book that I've read like this part of a series where I'm like, oh, they kind of didn't do it well. I think that happens a lot with films, but with books, series can last forever. The second question is, how do you feel about cliffhangers? I think I'm quite indifferent. I don't think I read that many books that have got cliffhangers, to be honest. So it doesn't really, I just don't relate to it, I suppose. But hardback or paperback? This is the question of the century. Hardbacks are gorgeous, so beautiful. A lot of the time they're just like a lot nicer in terms of the actual design and the style. But I love paperbacks. It irritates me. This is kind of weird to say as a publishing person, but it irritates me that books come out as a hardback and then usually you have to wait a year before the paperback is out. And I just really don't like it. So I'm very happy all the time that I get proofs because then I get to read them. And the reason that I like paperbacks is mostly a practical reason. I just find hardbacks really difficult to travel with or even to open. I feel like I never want to ruin them. They're more for me like a good collection item or something that, I can put on. And I've got quite a few hardbacks, but not to read, they're not my favorite. Yeah, I'd love actually to know what's your favorite book format, because obviously there's so many, and I feel like this is something that really intrigues me to hear how some people are really into audiobooks, some people really love their Kindles. So if you've got a specific book format that you prefer, let me know in the comments and we can have a little chat. The next question is, what is your favorite book? I mean, this is so difficult. So what I'm gonna do is a bit of cheating a little bit, but I'm not gonna say the favorite book of my entire life, because I genuinely think I would struggle with that. I'm just gonna say and share with you my favorite book of the past few months, which is Essentialism. You would have heard me talking about this one if you follow me on Instagram. If you don't, come and say hi in here. But this book is amazing. I loved it so much, and I came across a YouTube video actually, which I think it was a podcast, by one of my favorite YouTubers, which is Matt Diavella. And I loved hearing Greg, the author, talking about essentialism as a lifestyle, and then I picked up the book and it just blew my mind. I think this for me was the example of the right book at the perfect time for me, and I was just completely absorbed in it, and ever since I have been talking about it to everyone. So yeah, definitely check it out. I'll link it down below if you want to get yourself a copy. Really worth it. And I've just realized, as usual, I have not told you what the book is about, but the book is essentially it takes you essentially, is that a pun? Let me know if it's a pun. I never know when I make puns. It's really funny. Anyhow, it's called Essentialism, the disciplined pursuit of less, and it's all about essentialism as a philosophy in practice. And Greg has got a really good way of telling stories, and he makes some examples and he brings other people and other experiences, and I find it so just interesting. Sometimes non-fiction books can be a little bit dry and a bit boring, but this is just it's got really powerful storytelling and at the same time, very, very valuable insights and facts about how to live a more essential and essentialist life, and absolutely loved it. Okay, I'm coming to you from the future. Well, not from the future technically, but anyway, I forgot very conveniently to answer one of the questions, which was my least favorite book. And this would be the least favorite book that I have read recently. And actually, I think I saw a video from a fellow YouTuber who basically was talking about how this book was like not really written for like common people. And I just like got that feeling. I was just like, I'm feeling really stupid. I'm really struggling to finish it. And I grabbed the book because I basically was like, the cover looks amazing. This is such an amazing concept, but it doesn't feel like a mass market book, and it feels like it's been marketed as that. So yeah, I think it was just like a little bit misleading, and I was really disappointed because it was basically an academic essay. So that would be my least favorite book as of recent. Next question is what I am currently reading. I am currently reading, I've got them all here, that's why I keep looking down. I am currently reading this book, which is called 4,000 Weeks. And I don't think this is a proof. It's coming out on 26th of August. It's a book that basically talks about how the average life that we live on Earth is equal basically to 4,000 weeks, which it's kind of scary, but also it really does like make you think about time and how you want to spend your time. So, and in fact, the sort of subtitle on the proof is like, how will you choose to spend yours? I mean, it's such an intriguing book. It's really, really well written. I am loving it so far, but I'm currently reading it. So I'll probably share my thoughts on Instagram on this one once I'm done. The next question is, buying or borrowing books? This is really interesting. I don't borrow books. And I think that is because I had a traumatic experience when I was probably 12. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, it's a bit embarrassing that I haven't managed to, move past it. But I don't borrow books because of this experience where I actually lent a book to a friend of mine and she returned it to me with a coffee mug stain. Like, how bad is that? That's bad, right? That's not just me. Like, that is not okay. You can't do that. You shouldn't be doing that. So I was super cross and really upset. I think it was actually... Sorry, something just fell down. I think it was actually something that I really loved as well. I don't know if it was like one of my Harry Potters. Like, I don't even want to think about it. Poor book. But basically that bad experience kind of like makes me a bit nervous about getting and borrowing books from other people because I don't want to ruin them. Of course, borrowing could mean borrowing from a library, and I am just very bad at like finding out where my nearest library is. So I should definitely do that because that's like a really good thing to do. But at the same time, I also don't necessarily buy that many books because I work in publishing. I get lots of proofs, and yeah, I just got access. I've got access to a lot of books. So again, like I'm quite fortunate that way. So my answer is neither. Next question is bookmarks or dog ears. I can't even say the word. Bookmarks. I'm a bookmark girl. I've got so many. No, guys. Oh, I can't. Don't ruin your books. I don't know. Like, I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with it. Like, I generally don't judge, but I cannot bring myself to do it. I kind of like feel like sometimes it's probably to a like sort of extreme extent, but I feel like books are so precious and so important. I often get really frustrated because in the UK, when books get printed, the spine is actually quite hard and you have to kind of break it to actually read it comfortably. And I've noticed when I've been like to the US that is not the case there. So I don't know if this like is a common thing, but books are like so... Oh, let me see if I can find like a good example. Like this book just like folds open. And actually this like I think I got in the UK, so I don't know if it's a UK US thing. But then other books, you have to kind of like open them a little bit more. I can't find any now, but like even in paperback, you have to kind of like break it a bit. And I really don't like that. So I just, yeah, I don't want to like ruin them. I love my books. So yeah, bookmarks. That was a very long-winded way of answering, but anyway. Next question is a book that you could reread. Okay, there's so many, but I'm just gonna pick one of them, which is actually a novel, and it's Olive by Emma Gannon. I really love this book. I was waiting for it for a long time. It tells the story of the protagonist, Olive, and her friends and her life, navigating basically the time in her life when she decided to just be child-free. And it talks about that so beautifully. I think it's such an interesting novel because the character is not that likable, and to me that kind of made her likable in a way. I just find it really interesting. I absolutely loved all Emma's previous books, and she's incredible. She's like a brilliant writer, and she wrote quite a bit of nonfiction. This was her first novel, so I was super excited for it. I think she's got another one coming, so very much looking forward to that, but I might as well reread that soon. And last question is, sorry, there's a child screaming. Just having talked about child-free. Okay, so the last question is one point of view or multiple. I think I'm gonna say one point of view. I already read in my second language, which is challenging enough and has definitely gotten easier, but I remember the first time that I started reading in English, when I first came here like about 9 years ago. It was so hard to read some of the books that I was picking up because I just could not understand what they even meant. And sometimes it still happens, but then now I know that it's just like the style of the book as opposed to it being me not understanding the language. But I still find it much more enjoyable if there is like one point of view, or maybe like two max. But if it starts becoming really complex and really sort of like can't really tell who is actually speaking or thinking or doing that, I find that a bit confusing and it just puts me off. Okay, that was it for today's video. I had so much fun answering the questions. If you've got any other questions, or if you're doing a video of your own, please link it down below in the comments because I definitely want to see it. I really enjoy watching these videos. They're so fun. They give me like just like a sense of like getting to know you and getting to know other people as well through our reading habits. So I very much enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and like this video, and see you next time.